The microphone's on. For Wednesday, February the 18th. I'm Phil Como. I'm sitting in for the chair tonight. I am acting chair for tonight's meeting. The Planning Advisory Committee consists of 9 citizens of St. John who have been appointed by Common Council to provide their views to Common Council on planning applications, including amendments of the Municipal Development Plan, zoning bylaws, and Section 59 conditions, the vesting of public streets, and the declaration of release of lands of public purposes. In addition, PAC is a decision-making body for applicants, including subdivisions, variances, conditional uses, similar and compatible uses, and temporary uses. PAC meetings are public meetings which are live streamed on City of St. John's YouTube channel, with the recordings being available for public viewing afterwards. This is a safe space, and we ask everyone to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Should anyone interrupt the meetings, you will be given one warning. Should the disruption continue, you will be asked to leave the meeting. To ensure that the meeting runs without disruptions, we ask that those in attendance place their phones on silent. Members of the public, you are welcome to remain in the chambers to listen and debate and any decisions on committee, however, and here's my phone, not silent. Should anyone however, when your item is concluded, you may feel free to leave at any time. In the event of an emergency, please exit the council chambers through the 2 doors and proceed to the lobby. Staff will guide us the rest of the way. Well, let's move on to our meeting. So I'll start with roll call. I'll briefly introduce everybody who's here tonight. Starting with myself, I am Vice Chair, Phil Como, Vice Chair, sitting in tonight as Chair. Josephine Chekwaz is second Vice Chair. Councillor Gary Sullivan, Councillor Jerry Lowe, Terry Hutchinson, Blake Slattery, Peter Cornfield. Not present is our Chair, Brad Mitchell. And from the city, we have Pangay Nilbad, Director of the Community Planning and Housing, Jennifer Kirshner, Manager of Community Planning, Bill Mackey, Senior Planner, Eva Madsen, Planner, and Roseanne George, also a Planner. Now we will vote on tonight's agenda. Are there any changes on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, can I get a motion to accept? Terry and Jerry, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? Good. Now we'll vote on the minutes of our last meeting, which was January 20th. Are there any comments, errors, or omissions? Okay, I'll take a mover for that one. Jerry, seconder, Gary, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? Great. And now I'm going to ask if there's any conflicts of interest in our 3 items tonight.
So Chairman, I declare a conflict of interest in connection with item 5.1. Excuse me, 5.2, sorry.
Okay.
5.2.
Any others? Okay. During that, we'll ask you to sit in the horseshoe and come back when we're finished. Excellent. All right, let's proceed with our items. So first item on the agenda. So here, I guess here's how we'll run this. The applicant will be asked to approach the podium, state their name, indicate if they are in support of the staff's recommendation. All this after the staff presents. So our first item is 5.1 on the agenda. The application is located at 567 Millage Avenue. The applicant is Aaron Schreier on behalf of landowner 647012NB. And this is an application of Section 59 amendment to rescind the existing 59 conditions registered on the local commercial property. The conditions restrict the use of a property to a daycare. The committee's jurisdiction in this matter is to provide in written views of Common Council concerning the proposed Section 59. A public hearing will be scheduled for 6:30 Monday, March the 9th, here at the council chambers. And I'll ask Roseanne to give the presentation.
Okay. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chairs, Councillors, members of the PAC, and City staff. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend. So we are pleased to present to you 567 Millage Avenue, a proposed rescinding of the existing Common Council imposed Section 59 conditions. So this application, which is submitted by Erin, seeks to rescind the existing Section 59 conditions that currently limit the use of the property to a daycare and established site development and operational requirements for the use. And this is done in order to facilitate the development of any permitted use within the local commercial zone, the LC zone. Sorry, the CL zone. The subject property is located in Milledgeville. The property contains a daycare center, which was established after the 1997 Section 59 amendment. The site is zoned local commercial, CL, which is intended to support commercial uses that serve the local area. The site is located within the primary development area, or the PDA, and is served by municipal water and sewer infrastructure. The site is served by the city's road network due to its location on a major street with Millage Avenue containing sidewalks on the western side of the street, which connects to a wider pedestrian network. The site is also well served by St. John Transit through 4 different bus routes. As you can see on the screen, these images speak to the site in relation to the north-south running major street, Millage Avenue. The image to the top left is going south on Millage Avenue. The image on the bottom left shows the entrance to the site from Millage Avenue. And the picture to the right shows the front of the site, which currently houses the Origins Daycare building. The images to the left and the top right show the western portion of the site that is currently vacant and it has a different PID. The image to the bottom right shows the eastern portion of the site, which has the existing Origins Daycare. The subject site is designated low to medium density residential within the municipal plan, Plan SJ. What this low to medium density residential designation does is it is applied to lands within the urban and suburban neighborhood intensification areas to accommodate a range of growth and development. As for policy alignment, both policy LU50 and LU54 of the municipal plan ensure the compatibility of these amendments to both the zoning bylaw and the municipal plan. So as I alluded to before, the subject site is a developed property served by municipal infrastructure and is within the PDA. The commercial property is located on a major road in an urban area of the city. Through the rescinding of the Section 59 conditions, it will enable the site to be utilized for a variety of uses as is currently permitted in the local commercial zone within the zoning bylaw. There is also an alignment with the provincial statements of public interest, as well as a proposed rescinding of the Section 59 conditions, as that will support the use of an existing developed site that is already serviced by municipal infrastructure. The subject site is zoned local commercial within Zone SJ, the zoning bylaw. The neighborhood is diverse with a mixture of residential and commercial neighborhoods, zoned low-rise residential, mid-rise residential, and local commercial. and you have different types such as single-family dwellings, apartment buildings, and clinics. So while the CL zone permits a range of uses that would support the daily commercial convenience needs of the residential area, Section 59 conditions have limited the use of the site to a daycare center. By rescinding the Section 59 conditions, it will provide flexibility to utilize the site for a variety of uses that are permitted within the ZL zone. As for public engagement, notification of the proposal was sent to property owners within 100 meters of the subject site, and that was done on January 23rd. And the nature of applicant engagement, it was done through door via physical mailing and email. 0 letters were received. The public notice for the public hearing was posted on the city's website on February 10th. And this public hearing will be held on March 9th. As for the engagement that was taken, was done by the applicant himself by themselves, they also took their own, they also undertook different methods of community engagement within the said 100 meters of the overall cemetery property, which included, you have the group home and a few others. So staff are recommending that PAC approve the rescinding of the Section 59 conditions imposed that currently limit the use of the property to a daycare. Thank you very much.
Any questions for city staff right now? Okay, thank you. Now I'll call upon the applicant to speak. Just state your name nice and loud, and you have 10 minutes. And let us know if you're if you are in favor of staff recommendations.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Erin Scryer. I was not prepared to speak. I didn't know that I had to speak to the application, but I am, and I had reviewed the proposal, and I am in favor of the staff recommendation and the public hearing on March 9th. And thank you for your consideration.
Okay, great.
Is there any questions?
Any questions for the applicant? Great, thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right, I'll ask the committee if they have any further questions, or we'll look for a motion.
Recommendation.
Okay, we have a mover, Gary, seconder, Terry. Anything on the question? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Next, we have a conflict. Terry's going to have a seat in the horseshoe. Next item is 5.2. The application is located at 358 and a half Rossi Avenue. The applicant is Rick Turner on behalf of the landowner, Fernhill Cemetery Company. It's an application of municipal plan amendment and rezoning, which would permit a portion of the site to be used for commercial purposes. The committee's jurisdiction on this matter is to provide in written views to Common Council concerning the proposed municipal plan amendment. Same date, Monday, March the 9th at 6:30 here at the council chambers. Rose.
So the application submitted by Rick Turner of Hughes Surveys and Consultants on behalf of Fernhill Cemetery Company seeks to make 3 amendments to the 8,360 square meter portion of the entire site to facilitate the subdivision and commercial development of an underutilized portion of the Fernhill Cemetery, which is located at 358 and a half Rothsay Avenue. So those 3 amendments would encompass these 3, which is to redesignate the portion of the site from park and natural area to employment area on Schedule A of the municipal plan, to redesignate that same portion of the site from park and natural area to commercial corridor on Schedule B of the municipal plan, and to rezone the same portion of the site from park, which is P, to corridor commercial C, which is CC, within the zoning bylaw. A subdivision application has also been submitted, but that will be tackled with internally at the development officer level. So the subject property is located in the east side of the city and is bordered by east-west running roads, Rothsay Avenue on its north and Westmoreland Road on its south. The general area is commercial in nature and has access to municipal water and wastewater services, with this specific site zoned as a park. The site is located within the primary development area, or the PDA, and is served by municipal water and sewer infrastructure. The Rothsay Avenue portion of the site is served by the city's road network due to its location on a major arterial street, with Rothsay Avenue containing sidewalks on both sides of the street. The site is well served by the city's road network and is again also served by the St. John Transit. These images speak to the site in relation to one of the main commercial corridors within the city, Rothsay Avenue. You can see Rothsay Avenue, and you can see on the image on the right, you can see the commercial stores from across Rothsay Avenue on the other side. The image to the left shows the retail spaces along the western portion of the site that have access to Rothsay Avenue. The images to the right show the eastern portion with the Bartlett Memorials and Granite Commercial Office that can also be accessed by Rothsay Avenue. The subject site is designated Park and Natural Area within Plan SJ. The Park and Natural Area designation is primarily utilized to identify lands that may not be suitable for development due to the existing land use or natural features. While this designation primarily functions to identify land containing natural areas such as watercourses or coastlines, it is also used to identify sites that contain uses such as parks, historic sites, and cemeteries, which is the case as is this. The redesignation of this land for commercial purposes would not impact the existing design, function, or access of the cemetery or its role within the broader open space network. Commercial corridors have historically been located along the major thoroughfares in the city that accommodate a diverse range of commercial, light industrial, and community uses, which are identified as appropriate locations for intensified land use and investment, as they provide major linkages between primary centers, employment areas, and intensification areas. As in this case, Rothsay Avenue is one of the main commercial corridors within the city, with the commercial corridor including 3.5 kilometers of Rothsay Avenue. So the subject site represents the sole exception to this otherwise cohesive designation. And what this proposed designation would do is it would enable this underutilized portion of land to be activated for commercial uses, which would benefit from access onto Rothsay Avenue and the existing municipal infrastructure and services. So as for policy alignment, again, both policy LU 83 and 85 ensure the compatibility of these amendments to the zoning bylaw and municipal plan. The subject site is adjacent to the existing commercial corridor designation located on Rothsay Avenue. Apart from this property, like I just said, over 3.5 kilometers of properties along both sides of Rothsay Avenue have been developed for commercial uses. So this redesignation and rezoning would enable this portion of land to be developed for commercial purposes. There is also the alignment with the provincial statements of public interest, as well as the proposed amendments to the plan and zoning bylaw, which would enable this portion to be developed for commercial uses. It will also utilize the existing municipal infrastructure, and it aligns with the established settlement pattern of the area. As for the zoning, it is zoned park, and all the adjacent properties on either side are zoned commercial corridor. The park zone is intended to accommodate a range of recreational activities and supportive commercial uses. In addition, the park zone is utilized for cemeteries within the city, which is the case for this. The proposed rezoning would rezone a portion of the site to corridor commercial that would both allow for the underutilized portion of the cemetery to be commercially developed and would also complete the existing land use and development pattern established along the avenue. The corridor commercial zone is used for lands along major thoroughfares, such as Rothsay Avenue, and accommodates a wide range of vehicle-oriented commercial and compatible light industrial uses. The proposed rezoning would rezone this portion to commercial corridor. And as for the public engagement piece, the notification was sent to property owners within 100 meters of the subject site on January 23rd. Again, there were different modes of applicant engagement. There was door-to-door, physical mailing, and email. One letter was received. It was in support of the rezoning, but it at the same time had concerns pertaining to flooding. The public notice for the public hearing was posted on the city's website on the 10th of February. The public hearing will be held on 9th of March. The applicant on his own also undertook community engagement with over 200 notices either hand-delivered or mailed out. And most were hand-delivered, and that was done to avoid mail service disruptions. And again, he was notified of a resident who did not object to the application per se, but had concerns regarding the drainage issues in the area. So staff are recommending that PAC approve bylaw number CP 10645, which are the municipal plan amendments that would enable that portion of the site to be redesignated from park and natural area to employment area in Schedule E and to commercial corridor on Schedule B. And lastly, the staff are also recommending that PAC approve bylaw number CP 111217, which is the zoning bylaw amendment that would essentially facilitate that portion to be rezoned from park to commercial corridor, as the request aligns with the policy and land use directions laid out in the zoning bylaw. That's it. Thank you.
Roseanne, any questions for staff? Okay, thank you. Rick, I see you there. You're the applicant. If you want to come up and.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I could have done that. Now I know how to operate it.
Is this good enough for you?
Yeah, that's great. No, that's great, thank you.
As if we all don't know, but people on YouTube may not, you can state your name and let us know if you're in favor of staff recommendations.
Yes, deputy and committee members, we are in favor of staff recommendations. It was an interesting application with the public engagement because the cemetery property is so vast and everything within 100 meters along Westmoreland Road, it's fairly densely developed. I was inundated with phone calls, and most of my time was spent trying to explain to people why they got a notice for something on Ross Avenue. The one person that raised concerns, no problem with the application, actually is just interested in buying a portion of the property. That's information I'll pass on to the board, the cemetery board. But again, in favor of the staff recommendation.
Any questions for the applicant?
Thank you.
All right. Any other further committee discussions? Okay. Okay. Moved by Gary, second by Jerry. On the question, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And you can rejoin us, Terry. You can't go home. Lastly, 5.3 on the agenda, the application and landowner is Gerald Lasky. This application is to rezone the property to legalize the placement of a mobile home on the site. The committee's jurisdiction in this matter is to provide the written views to Common Council concerning the proposed rezoning. The public hearing on the schedule does say Monday, March the 9th, but it's going to be rescheduled to March 23rd of this year at 6:30 at Council Chambers. And Eva, you're going to give the report.
Thank you, Vice Chair and Committee. So before you today is a rezoning proposal for 1360 Old Black River Road. The proposal is to rezone the site from rural residential to rural mixed residential to legalize a mobile home that was placed upon the site. The subject site is located on the east side of the city along Old Black River Road, and the site itself is an existing undersized lot with private septic and well. This area consists of small clusters of other rural residential lots with single-family homes as well as mini homes that were there before the current bylaw. The wider area consists of some more rural properties used for single-family and residential and resource use, as well as some industrial zones to the south or southeast. The property itself has an area of 1,563 square meters and is accessed off of Old Black River Road. And this is quite undersized for a lot in the rural residential zone, but it has been existing since the 1960s. It is rural in nature, so there are no active transportation or transit options. In the above image, you can see the site where the mobile home has been placed, and then the second image and the third image are both of Old Black River Road, looking first south and then north. As you can see, it's a very low-density rural area. The municipal plan designates this area as rural residential, and that designation applies to lands which accommodate existing approved low-density residential development. It's unserviced and beyond the PDA. The municipal plan does seek to curtail this form of development by limiting further subdivision or creation of this type of zoning or lots. But based on the analysis of the rural residential designation and the fact that the lot is existing, the proposal is supported by the municipal plan. The policy most relevant is LU 104, which is that development of residential uses on existing lots shall be permitted, but no new lots will be created, and this does meet that intent. Next policy, I2, is in considering amendments to the zoning bylaw or the imposition of terms and conditions. It must conform to a bunch of following policies, such as adequate service, road networks, appropriate controls on type of use, etc. So this does meet the intent of the policy, as it's an existing lot in a zone that would control the density, height, scale, massing, etc., and it's on existing infrastructure such as the road network. The site is currently zoned rural residential, as noted, and this accommodates unserviced residential development, but only in the form of single-family homes and two-unit dwellings that have like a permanent foundation, so mobile or mini homes. The rural mixed residential zone, which we are proposing to rezone to, accommodates that same unserviced residential development in the form of one or two unit dwellings, but also allows for mobile or mini homes as well. And this provides for an opportunity for a mixture of housing forms and options on a lot. This site can meet all the requirements of the RMX zone outside of a very minor staff level variance for the side yard setback that can be processed during permitting. Letters were mailed out to property owners within 100 meters of the site on January 23rd. We have received no communications. A website notice will be posted on February 23rd for the public hearing date of March 23rd. So staff are recommending that council rezone the property from RR to RMX, as it does meet the intent of all of our municipal plan and zoning policies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't see anybody else around, but I'll ask if the applicant is present that I'm not seeing somewhere.
Unfortunately, the applicant did leave after the first application. I don't know why.
Okay. All right. Then we'll move on to committee discussion and/or committee motion. Okay, Terry seconded. Anything on the question? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. That concludes tonight's meeting. Our next scheduled PAC meeting is Tuesday, February 24th. May or may not happen. City staff will let us know. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Terry, Gary, all in favor? Okay, 6:30.